Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. As always, truly appreciate you being here. And folks, just a quick video. I don't normally do contest videos anymore, folks. I have to admit, so many of the people I enjoy here and subscribe to do contest videos, and there's so many of them. It's just hard to jump on them. It's time consuming and whatnot. But every once in a while, one will come my way that strikes a chord with me, and it may be a topic that really interests me. So I say, what the heck, jump on. Well, there's a great channel out there called What the Gym. It's hosted by Adam. And I've been a subscriber to his channel for a long time. He's a great channel. I will put the link to either his channel or the original video below. But he's doing a contest regarding animals, pets, specifically dogs, if you're into dogs. So I think I have everything straight as to the different things you have to talk about. And I'm going to do it right now and get it out there to you and encourage you, because if you have a channel and produce content, Adam at What the Gym would like you to participate in this contest. So what he wants is show an album or that has an animal on the cover, but specifically a dog, if you can get a dog one. Then he wants you to talk about a song that pertains to an animal or specifically a dog, if you can find one. And then he wants you to talk about pets in your life and what they mean to you, if they do or if they don't. Have you had pets? Pretty straightforward contest, so I'm going to give it a whirl. So, I haven't done a review of this album yet, but The Darkness, one of my favorite rock and roll bands of all time in the modern era, has put out a brand new album called Dreams on Toast. And here's the regular album cover, all right? This happens to be a slick signed by members of The Darkness, Justin and Dan Hawkins, brothers. Then you have Frankie Poulian, who's the bass player. And you have, there's Frankie FP down here. Not sure who this is. And there's one here. And then you have Rufus Tiger Taylor, the drummer, who's the son of Roger Taylor, drummer of Queen, in The Darkness. And they signed this for me. Very nice slick of their brand new album, Dreams on Toast. However, great album, by the way. I'm going to be doing a review of it. Pick up the latest Darkness album if you haven't gotten it yet. It's one of their best ever. But there's a special cassette edition of Dreams on Toast with The Don, D-O-N, on the cover. And here is The Don on the cassette version of Dreams on Toast. Mine is still in the shrink. I have not opened my cassette yet because I have the vinyl and I have the CD. But this is the special cassette edition with The Don. Darkness, Dreams on Toast. And look at him. Isn't he cute? Okay, so brand new album too, and it's a great rock and roll album. Now, the next thing he wanted you to talk about was a song that has to do with a dog or a pet. I have the best one ever, I think. This is specifically about a dog, but it's a song that could pertain to any type of emotional loss in your life. If you lost a loved one, if you've ever lost, any loss in your life. And this song relates to that. However, this song is specifically about the loss of a pet, a dog. And it's by the great band who were, for a brief period, mistaken as being the Beatles when their first album came out, Klaatu. Who remembers the band Klaatu? This is their best of called Peaks. This is another album of theirs called Zoology. And then the song is on this album called Endangered Species. This is a double set with Sir Ami Suit and Endangered Species. It originally appears on the Endangered Species album. Okay. Now, why am I mentioning it? Well, the song is called All Good Things. Endangered Species originally. You can also get an acoustic version on Zoology, and you can get a version of it on their best of called Peaks. Now, what is All Good Things? Well, it's about how you have a dog in your life who means so much to you, and it's there for you emotionally and gives you support. You know, if you've ever been a dog lover like I am, I'm an animal lover, but I've had dogs my whole life. And I'll be talking about that in a minute. But this song, All Good Things by Klaatu, go check it out on YouTube or sample it on a streaming service. The lyrics are so poignant about loss. At first, you'll think it's about the loss of a loved one, like, you know, a family member or a friend, and it could be that. But there's one specific line in it, and I've read an interview with the members of Klaatu talking about it. It's specifically written about a dog who was very close to one of the members of Klaatu, who was, you know, dogs' unconditional love. You come home, their little butt shaking, the tails wagging, they're happy to see you. No matter what happens, what your mood is, they're there for you in a positive light. I just love dogs. Well, anyway, the song is specifically about a dog who he had in his life, and it was there for him, emotional support, had fun with the dog, and then the dog passed away at old age, and the sadness he felt of the loss of that pet. So I encourage any dog or animal lovers out there, check out All Good Things right now by Klaatu. You'll love it. All right, now specifically the third part is pets in your life. Well, I've had pets in my life, my whole entire life. My parents were dog and animal lovers. As a matter of fact, in the late 50s, they became boxer people. You know what a boxer is? Well, they're cute little dogs. Love them. Well, mid-sized dogs. My parents bred a boxer who was casually called Eric, but his official full name was Sir Eric Coggeshall. I'm hoping that translates there for you. And this is from 1959, a portrait, professional portrait of my parents' dog, Eric. From 1959. He was born around 1956, and he passed away in 1966. I do remember him as a young child, age 3, 4, 5 years old, when he was in his elderly years, but they bred him to be an obedience dog. He was one of the top trained and awarded obedience dogs in the Northeast United States back in the late 50s. He would go to shows at Madison Square Garden, Boston, all throughout the Northeast. And he wasn't a show dog. Like, he wasn't one of the ones they look at for like perfect body and all that stuff. It was specifically obedience. He could fetch things, jump over things on command, sit, lie down, say all those types of obedience commands. He was one of the top dogs in the country back in the late 50s. And my parents, before me and my 2 younger brothers came, this was a big thing, raising him and showing him throughout the Northeast United States. And he lived out his years in retirement in the 60s with us when I was a young boy, and my 2 little brothers were very, very young. And he passed away in 1966. So I've had dogs, and my parents had boxers their entire marriage. Up until only a few years before my mom and dad passed away, they had a boxer. But in later years, my wife and I also rescued dogs. We would mainly get rescue dogs throughout our marriage. I've had many. I can't show you all the pictures of them. I'll try to put a picture of my current dogs up here. But we had a different dog in 1985. We got a little pug named Curly. There's Curly. Little dog, a little cute dog. He was, like I said, born in 1985, the year my wife and I got married, and we had him. And we've had several dogs through the years. We've always rescued animals. I did have a cat once. We found someone dropped off a pregnant cat in the woods behind my house many years ago, and we were able to capture many of the kittens and give them to a rescue facility. We kept one of them. It's the one and only time in my life I've had a cat. His name was Max, and he was the best cat ever. He never clawed anything. He never destroyed anything. He was so chill. He got along with all the dogs. They got along with him. He was the best cat ever. We had him 15 years, and he passed away a few years ago, and he was my one and only cat. But we do have dogs now. We've rescued dogs, and about 2016, we rescued a chocolate lab mix mongrel puppy from a shelter where the litter was dropped off, abandoned at the shelter. We took one of the puppies. Her name is Gertie. I'll try to show a picture of her. She's full grown now. She's 8 years old. She's a great dog, smartest dog we've ever had. Like I said, chocolate lab mix with God knows what else is in Gertie. And then we also rescued a boxer by the name of Erin. I'll try to show her picture as well. And we have Erin. So we're keeping my parents' tradition going of having boxers. Erin is 5 years old now. We rescued her from, she was a show dog. She's a beautiful, perfect specimen boxer. She was the type of dog that was bred to be at like the Westminster Dog Show and all those. She's that perfect. However, what happened was she didn't pass muster in the training program. I guess, she's a little bit hyper and sometimes she's a little skittish. So whenever like they would bring her to shows, and that's a horrible life, by the way, what these dogs go through at these shows. I'm so glad we rescued Erin because they live in crates all the time and they're stuffed in the crate. Then they come out for the show, back in a crate. And when they're living at home with the trainer, they're mainly in a crate. They come out once in a while. It's not a fun life for them. I hate show dog stuff. So I'm so happy we rescued Erin because she didn't pass the program. She would get skittish when the judges would come near her. Sometimes she'd be too hyper and dancing around, shaking her little butt around. And so they kicked her out of the show dog program and they were going to use her as a breeding factory, a breeding machine, which is a horrible life also for a dog. But they discovered a small heart murmur that she had. And they said, well, we don't want to breed her to breed, show puppies and all that because she's got this murmur. So they put it into a rescue league program to get rid of her. And if they didn't get rid of her, they were going to get rid of her. You know what I mean? So by the good grace of God, someone knew we were looking for a small female boxer rescue. And they called my wife up and said, we have a small female that's, not going to be gone soon. Do you want her? We took her. We really didn't want a second dog, but we took her and we're happy. We did. We love her. And I'll try to show you a picture of her. So we only rescue dogs, a dog that's in need. That's our mantra, my wife and I, Mrs. Street. And we love dogs. And Adam, thanks for doing this contest. I hope you enjoyed this video about my dog stories. And I will be back very soon. Please subscribe to Adam at What the Gym, and I'll put links below. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.